Thank you all for coming. I'm glad we could make it. We're going to have an exciting one. It's part 2 of the series. If you missed part 1, link is below. We have Nate in, Overqualified Globe Card. We have Controlled Opposition, PJ, Cookie Monster, and Roger in the house. How are you guys doing?
Oh, good.
Wonderful. How about you?
Doing amazing.
Good, and you?
You know something?
It's good.
Death is flat and Jesus still loves us. That's all good then.
Amen.
Absolutely.
So guys, at least we got a Glober representing Dave tonight. So it's going to be interesting.
Cool.
So, but yeah, guys, do we count Overqualified? He is a nice guy. I mean, we saw last time.
He's sad.
He's a sound guy. So before we do start, man, what you obviously saw the debate. What was your thoughts on the debate? Overqualified?
The problem I
You really want
have
to
is
know?
Witsit is really predictable with what he's going to say, because every debate that he has is basically the same. He just starts out, "Oh, this is a fallacy. This is a fallacy." The Globers are going to make these fallacies. It's like, focus on the points of the debates. Don't bother with the fallacies, because that doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Fallacies.
I think that is.
Fallacies don't matter. Is that your claim?
You don't think so, huh?
Yeah.
Just have a debate.
In a debate,
No,
in a
but
debate,
like,
fallacy does matter. Though.
No, but if I'm presenting like a formal logical argument, for example, you think it doesn't matter if there's like 5 fallacies in there?
There's no real point to, "Oh, I'm going to name a fallacy that you just did."
There's no point to showing the error in your logic when we're talking about logical reasoning.
Leave it to the people who comment on the video. Don't do it in the debate.
It goes both ways.
Why not? If you make a fallacious argument, I can refute it.
It goes both ways, and Dave didn't do that. Like
Dave doesn't understand fallacies, so Dave wouldn't be able to call out a fallacy, even if there was one.
What's going on here? Do we have a white knight in our midst?
What's up? Okay, I just want to say thank you, Roger Little, for your $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. Says one word: sunsets. I'll explain later. Ooh, you rock, Roger. What do you want to explain about that quickly before we do start going through the debate again?
Yeah. It's a fallacious reasoning that the actual sun actually sets. Reason for it. I would explain why we have elongated daylight in Antarctica. That's where I went with that. See how fallacies work there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fallacy would be.
But it's good to see everybody.
Goes down.
Oh, it's 2. You're breaking up, man. Okay.
Happened again.
And it happened again.
The green.
Damn satellites.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's get to the actual debate, and we can see. Last time we stopped at 39 minutes, about 39:11. So I'm starting at 39:03, and we can take it from there. But it's good to see everybody. If you're here, just hit the likes. Share the show. Let everybody know we are live. You guys rock.
Within 7 seconds.
Austin,
he made a claim
you're
that
here
it doesn't
and you're
make any
looking
sense.
here.
It's
if you go up,
basic
this is
math.
even farther now, right? If you're here and you're looking at something here and you go up in elevation, that thing is now further away from you. So why can you see further with additional elevation?
Field of view.
Because you're increasing your angle of view.
Increasing
You
your
didn't
angle
know
of
that?
view, you can see.
How
can you see a further distance? We're not talking about an angle, a further distance. How can you see?
Because now you're changing your angle of view, so you're increasing your angular resolution and the things that you can pick up in the distance. Also, the ground ramps up due to perspective. Dude, just imagine, just think about it simply.
Yeah, Dave, it's very simple. The higher you go up, the higher the angle is. So the wider the angle is, the more you can see.
It's like he didn't even take like.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna say it right now, but you just put your face on the floor, you go up, you're gonna see more. If you were on the Eiffel Tower, you're obviously gonna see more of the ground around you than you would on the floor. At least that's what I'm pretty sure he's talking about that, right?
Yeah, but it's amazing that he doesn't know what angle of view is, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Professor Dave on his channel, on Professor Dave Explains, has spoken about angular resolution and things before, as far as I know. So obviously, he would have had to cover this topic in angular resolution.
Well, he didn't take any courses in it, did he? Just to quote somebody famous in our little group, you can do F all with an angle. So
Thanks, Bev.
that proves him wrong. Yeah.
I disagree with that. You can do a lot with angles, but yeah. Yeah. Let's carry on.
Sorry, dude. My internet went off. The middle light went on orange, so it went off for like 2 minutes. So I'm back.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Okay, let's go.
If I was on a flat floor and I laid my head down on the floor, as I start to stand up, I'm going to be able to see further along the floor because my angle of view increases. This is, again, not exclusive to a globe Earth. And you deflected away from the observation that refutes the globe again.
Because I can't verify any of these numbers or the math. They're just lying about them.
Okay, so if the numbers are correct, then you concede it refutes the globe?
Probably not, no.
Okay, then answer it as if the answer.
That's a contradiction. His whole argument was, no, I can't refute this because I can't validate it. If he says, if you can validate it, then can you? No, I still can't.
Wow.
Then his argument's mute.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll see that it contradicts.
We get a lot of this.
But anyway, I mean, even based on, let's say he's now in this debate with Witsit and he's got this information on screen. Wouldn't you have to give the benefit of the doubt that the information on screen is correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
Obviously,
you can obviously
not.
go and you can obviously go and try and disprove it if you want to. But I mean, I think Dave's way out of his depth when he's actually showing this stuff, because I don't think Dave understands actually what's being shown. I think that's the issue here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because these are not my numbers.
Okay, I don't know that.
Everyone at home's going to be able to go look it up. It's a official professional photography website.
I just want to let you guys both know. At the start of the show, I did a poll. Just so it's with about 3,000 votes, it's 65% Globe Gang, 35% Flat Friend, which I thought I'm going to run it again at the end because I thought this would be fun and a fun experience.
Well, nobody's going to change their mind here.
Surprise!
And then at the end, it was like almost 70% flat.
Oh Jesus!
Remember, they just started their debate here.
17%.
I mean, the people are going around saying Dave made more flat earthers in this one debate than Witsit made in a year. What's your thoughts?
I agree.
As soon as this came out, I sent it to a couple of my Globe friends. They haven't responded to me since.
I wonder why. Good.
Yeah, okay.
Can I continue?
Well, you're probably true. So you've watched online debates before, Dave. So the yeah.
Well, no, not really. I mean, he brings his flat Earth, people, and I mean, they're impervious to facts and logic, so they're not going to change.
Says the guy that says ducking a picture.
Yeah,
I'm ducking a picture because it's a picture, right? I'm talking about very simple physical concepts, right? I'm talking about observations that we can all.
He's literally got observations on screen.
That's what I'm talking about.
With the math, everything.
So you can't use your observations. We got our observations.
Yeah, and I mean, he can literally take those numbers and plot it in himself and see if they match.
Some people are just mentally ill. There's nothing you can do for them.
What I want to see though is I want to see Witsit show why those numbers are correct.
Because it's from a professional photography website, is what he said.
I've looked at the web's website. That's not professional.
WordPress.
I think it was.
WordPress means it's wrong. Is that what you're saying?
Nate, someone else is Is that a mega hat?
Yes. Listen. I had no other hats. Okay.
His hair's in his eyes, guys. Come on.
You could have tried not wearing it.
Over here.
No, there's a simple way to plug these numbers into a curve calculator and actually figure out the radius of the Earth that they're claiming. Yeah, it's not hard to figure out. It's not lying. They're actually using the measurements that are put out there by the globe.
For one of these locations, I forget what it was, but he said you can take a flight there and see. Or I could. Yeah. It was one earlier, but yeah.
Canigoo. You can do that twice a year. And it's not refracted because it's an actual silhouette of the mountain itself. You can't refract the shadow. Yeah. So it's not refraction that's causing it. It's actually the mountain and the light behind the mountain that causes the shadow.
And the thing is, what it shows is it's consistent, that it's the actual location. You know what I mean? So it's the actual.
They don't move around.
The location of the sun is behind on Canigoo. If it was just refraction, you wouldn't have it so consistent those 2 times every single time, same time every year.
Yeah, maybe instead of sending the flat earthers to Antarctica, we should send Dave to the Canigoo.
That's on Dave. Let him do that.
That's for sure.
It's like the whole argument of 24 hours sun. So it's just like that's going to be the end all to the whole debate.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the problem I see is, even if I'd be surprised if Witsit and Joan goes to Antarctica, but even if they do, they're going to find another reason, another excuse to say, "Oh no."
I think you got the. I don't even think the whole thing is going to happen at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I don't think it's got to happen at all. You know what I mean? But even if it did happen, and they went there, and there was a 24-hour sun, that's fine. The flat earthers can explain
doesn't
that.
disprove the flat earther.
But if there's not a 24-hour sun, if it goes through and there's not, then that's the globe done.
The thing is, remember, you must understand, the globe is the one with a claim, and you guys only have one way of the sun working. The flat Earth doesn't have any claims, and we don't have a singular way the sun needs to work.
That's the problem. You just because you obviously have a model, sort of, quote unquote, but because you got the whole sun rotating, orbiting. I can't even find a word at the moment. I'm so dumb.
We don't subscribe to orbits here.
They're just circling over the Earth, and that's that. But
but like speed,
saying
elevation.
that you don't make claims is just an excuse to say, we.
Not exactly, Dave.
It's an excuse. It's just we can't verify it. So you guys want to make unverifiable claims. So you guys have a burden to prove.
By the way,
if you do
your
go
stupid
there,
Earth model, your ball Earth model, the sun takes more than 24 hours to orbit the Earth. Otherwise, when you got to the other side of the sun, you'd be facing the wrong direction. Hello.
Yeah, there's so many problems with the globe model. It falls apart bit by bit, day by day.
Right, the flat's finished. What you've got to say now?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, you forgot.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get on.
All agree on, like the observation of a celestial sphere rotating counterclockwise versus clockwise, that you cannot explain, that only makes sense on a spherical Earth that we used in ancient times to prove that the Earth is a sphere. That's why sphere is the default position that you're trying to undermine by talking about.
Hey, real fast, can we show some intellectual honesty? I understand that you don't know these.
Or is it on the debate self?
Numbers, and fair enough. Okay,
fair.
if you want to verify them, that's fair. That's fair. I'm asking you in good faith, if the numbers were correct, which they are, what would be your response?
You can say, if
why is Jeremy jumping in though? I thought this was a debate between Witsit and Dave.
They constantly do that, doesn't they?
I mean, there was. I think I don't know if it was like labeled as a debate or just a conversation, but Jaren did a stream where he would jump in for whatever reason. It's like, it's done on both sides. But I don't agree. I don't agree with this guy jumping in and just like
Yeah.
diverting.
Jeremy's a cool guy though, guys. I got nothing against. He's got an awesome channel, but I just don't see him as a moderator at all. To be honest.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Not good.
Numbers were correct.
Yeah, it's an intellectually honest question, and it's actually disingenuous to avoid addressing the evidence just with the cop out that I can't verify the numbers right now.
It's actually really not, because when you have an entire model that is all interconnected and all observable phenomena are explained by that model, one singular datum, like one photo, is not going to be powerful enough to undermine an entire model.
Really? So evidence is just hand wave dismissed because it's an evidence. That's what he's saying. So he's saying you got data, and when you have data that shows
flat earthers, so it's not
against
valid.
it, but because it's a photo now, therefore it doesn't dismiss as evidence. This guy wouldn't do too well in court, by the way.
It looks like evidence to me. It debunks the radius that they're proclaiming.
He got laughed out of court before it ever started.
I don't think he would do too well in court.
No.
I mean, he's saying it doesn't do anything to the globe model that's just so perfect, right? But this is the whole thing that's built on, that it's a globe, right? So
yeah, with a certain radius too.
Yeah,
So
this is the point, right? That's showing that's like, you shouldn't see these things, right? So
exactly.
Absolutely, you wouldn't see these things on that globe.
I mean, let's put in another light, maybe. If if you heard a story that someone had died, for instance, you knew the person personally, the person had died, and someone had told you, well, I got evidence that person didn't actually die, and then they showed you a photo of this person, and you're like, well, I can't verify that, it's just a photo, so I know this person died, kind of thing. And the guy says, okay, but I can give you more evidence. We can actually go to the person's house and you can see for yourself the person is alive. And then would it be reasonable or unreasonable for the person to say, okay, let's go and see the evidence, or no, I'm just not going to take evidence as evidence because I don't believe you.
to be fair, I feel like this like the Cannagoon thing has been out for a while now. Why hasn't any Glober just gone there and proven, just seen, oh yeah, see what they're saying isn't true? But I don't know.
Well, the whole spiel is refraction. That's it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you try and explain that refraction, I mean, we've had Ruif as well says, yeah, but shadows can't be refracted. The silhouettes, they still claim refraction. It's like they're going to a default position of, yeah, we can't refract it, but it's refraction.
Yeah, but they can't explain the physicality of the shadow with refraction. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending loop. It just doesn't get anywhere.
Remember when Witsit asked McTroon to categorize the refraction, and he just like broke down?
What?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So basically, McTroon was like, "Oh, like it's refraction in the Black Swan and stuff," and then Witsit asked, "Okay, so what kind is it?" And then McTroon just like went in circles and circles and circles, which is what they all do.
Yeah. I guess that is what they do.
That's because they don't read their own crap. They don't even read, like, Witsit goes and reads, like, he read all of Darwin's stuff, like, once. And he sat there and he told us all about it. And it was, like, fascinating, all the stuff that he found in Darwin's writings to prove that Darwin didn't even believe in his own theories. It was really funny. But no one pays any attention. Like, that's what I think is funny, is, like, a lot of people give Witsit a hard time, but Witsit's the only one actually doing the research, bro, and reading all this stuff himself, not just taking everyone else's word for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, what was described there is basically what we've got on screen. The whole which kind of refraction is it sort of thing. And it's like Witsit's proving the numbers are correct. You don't categorize something where you haven't taken a picture and taken everything into account. It's just
That's why they call it research.
So you're saying he didn't take refraction into account then?
All right. You can tell which atmospheric refractive effect is by how it looks. Often there are times where you can do that, and we can compare with other photos and videos that do show these effects. So yeah, like you would need to answer the question of like what kind is it?
What purpose would it serve to say it's this kind of refraction? Like, what does it add to the conversation?
Because refraction isn't one thing. So if you're going to claim refraction, then we're going to need to go deeper than just refraction, because refraction can put certain images in your mind. But if we're going to prove, what's being distorted specifically, then we're going to need to be specific, and that involves going through the category of refraction and then seeing which one it is, because different effects produce different images that we see. So if you're going to claim, for example, sometimes you could claim that something's an inferior mirage and it looks nothing like one, and it's actually a different effect. So then your argument would be wrong, right? And the different effects cause us to see different things. So if you're going to claim a distortion, you can't just say there's a distortion. Like, you're going to need to expand upon it and elaborate.
There's different types of distortion. So like he says, like Emil says, you get different types of appearances from different things with different types of distortion. And that's what refraction is distortion. So you need to know the type of refraction to work out what type of distortion, so you can get the most legit answer you can to the answer of the what's being refracted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cause and effect relationships that work in logic. That's how you determine what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
It's real simple. That's why QE left the refraction in the black swan to start with, is to get them to bite on the refraction itself, because he knows they don't know what it means. They don't understand.
He wanted them to say refraction, because at the end of the day, the globies, you guys have to understand this, qualified. When you claim refraction, you're making a point. It's not physical curve, it's optical effect. And that's been our argument from the beginning. And that's why I can't wait till we actually get to the debate also with Ruhaf and Shane that they had the other night on Jaren. Ruhaf was supposed to be fighting for physical curve, and Shane for optical curve. But from the beginning, Ruhaf's own arguments were talking about diffraction, refraction, everything optical based, the math behind optical based. So even you guys arguing for refraction is making our point. It's not physical.
And it's measured physically flat. That's the whole point about the undertow behind it. It's all on a level plane. Their math drops down below that plane. It's not there. And you claim refraction, it just makes a point that it's not refraction. It's a level plane we're measuring on. There are refractive effects on our plane that make it look the way you think it is. Looks aren't reality. Optics aren't reality. Plain and simple.
Yep.
Pardon the pun.
If the numbers were true and if the math wasn't fudged, then I would say, okay, there's probably some kind of atmospheric effect or some kind of thing that I am not aware of that is making us see a little bit further. Maybe it's something that particular day. There's a particular humidity, or it's clearly over water. That's going to increase the atmospheric refractive effects. None of these observations are ever done over land. I think that's why. Same with the skyline of Chicago. They're always done over water for you guys. So there's something clearly, just one singular explanation that is missing. And that's why one datum is not going to undermine an entire model that explains every single thing about the world that we live in, from everything we see in the night sky to geological phenomena to just...
Oh, really? Is that so, Dave?
Huh.
Can you use your globe model, please, to explain to us why lobsters are not cows?
It explains everything.
Yeah, he said everything.
Well, they are, if they want to be. If they want to identify as a cow, then they can.
Well, an insane person usually does have interesting thoughts.
If your model makes a physical prediction and that physical prediction gets shown false, that means your model is invalidated. It's as simple as that. You don't have to accept
Well, they
it.
make
It's
good
just
predictions.
invalidate it.
Left. They make excellent predictions constantly. They're never wrong.
How many predictions have been shown wrong?
Do
Many.
you know how much research has been gone into understanding refraction?
Sorry?
Obviously.
Okay, so can you
What?
elaborate?
What type of refraction do you want to talk about?
No, just refraction in general. I don't care about it in general. Just like how
Okay. Well,
research has been put into understanding it and, correlating the...
refraction is actually very simple. Refraction is very simple. It's just incident angle, hits a barrier, and refracted angle. That's practically what refraction is. That's Snell's law. But when you guys come to use terrestrial refraction, you're basing it off of Fermat's principle, and you want to use a 7/6R radius, which you didn't have in the first instance. You're basing your refraction off of an observation that isn't observed. So you're taking refraction based on you're making a radius off of an already pre-assumed radius. That's what I'm trying to say.
It essentially turns into a magical value to change your radius.
Yeah, and that's why you guys have super looming and all this hectic extra refraction and all that, because you need it to change. The values are never constant. Your average is only 7/6.
The
But
atmosphere
everything
is never
else is not
constant.
constant. It changes constantly because you need it to suit whatever it is on that day. But those value changes are still based on you having a pre-assumed radius.
It's cookie cutter.
I mean, I would rather go and ask, when have you ever been able to measure the so-called radius without taking in any optical phenomena?
It goes back to, that the examples that I gave, about the bridge and, that place where it's like, the structure is following the curve. But that was all dismissed.
You're talking about the causeway? Lake Pontchartrain? Where the bridge curves away and the power lines kind of curve away due to the refraction. Yeah.
With Soundly did that observation. Yeah, that's
It's
just
really
foreshortening though.
Yeah, that's really funny because there's a horizon beyond the actual bridge itself. Photos on days when there's no humidity. We have photos on days when there's no humidity where it's...
Yeah, but I mean, Roger, we saw with that.
It's not physical.
It's forced perspective.
Talking about the difference between optics and physics.
Well, you can find out if it's physical by going a mile or two away from the bridge and looking at the bridge from left to right. You'll see that it's not curving at all, even though there's refraction happening from front to back. It's not happening from left to right. Therefore, it doesn't exist. It's just optical. That's how you know that it's bullshit. It's not the other way. You know it's not true because when you look at it from left to right, it's still flat and straight, and you can measure it that way. That's the reason why the horizon can be flat and straight and level, but it's actually not. You know what I'm saying? You can't count on it when it comes to it as it rolls away because it's an optical illusion, right?
That's right.
It's that simple. It's really not hard to describe. It's really not hard to understand. You don't need rocket science. You don't need anything except mental abilities, like, admitting that logic is real and that it's not crap.
It's like, when you're learning maths, you learn a lot of stuff that is just like, why bother learning about it? I'm not going to use algebra anywhere. It's the same with science. It's like, you can go into a massive amount of detail around it. What's the problem with that? Why do you have to simplify everything? Not just simplify everything, but oversimplify things.
But yeah, I don't.
Well, it's because we have to be able to describe things, right? Like we're going to identify things.
Yeah, I think it comes with.
Oh, is he talking about the Lake Pontchartrain?
Yeah, it was. But I think he was asking now. I would say it goes with the situation. I mean, when we're in the whole flat Earth globe debate thing, obviously you're going to have science talk and geometry talk and stuff. So it would be good to actually do your research on it and not just stay ignorant to it. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I've been seeing with specifically the globe and that aside. They stay ignorant. It's like they want to stay ignorant to the things. Like when we talk about thermodynamics.
That optical.
I mean,
I'd like to blame some of the flat earthers because they're not identifying this, right? I haven't heard anybody say anything except.
I'm still talking. Thank you. Like especially when we still even get McToon and FTF in them when we talk about thermodynamics, for instance. They still think the second law of thermodynamics has nothing to do with gas, even though we can show them citation after citation.
It has nothing to do with the atmosphere.
Various systems. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
It doesn't have, because you're just thinking of like gas in a container, just like a small container, but it's not going to be the same when it comes to the entire world.
No, the second law of thermodynamics and the kinetic theory of gases entails various systems. That mean it doesn't matter if it's a small container, a large container. All gas behavior still has implications on any system. Yeah, there's laws for a reason.
I don't know if you guys
this
heard
is something that nobody just made up. They actually had to test this stuff out to figure it out. I mean, scientists spent years and years and years testing gases and doing all these experiments to come up with these laws so that we can understand how this stuff works. So it's not like it just came up out of nowhere. And no, Einstein didn't have anything to do with it, by the way.
No.
So you say laws of the thermodynamics and you live religiously with that. Your own understanding of it. What about the laws of gravity?
The thing is, gravity is
the
just
law of
placed. Let's put it this way. Okay, I'm gonna go very simple.
There is no law of gravity.
Yeah. The law of gravitational of gravity is just a constant acceleration. That's what you agree. That's all we observe is a acceleration.
Downwards.
But that's acceleration, correct?
Downwards, though.
Yeah, but that's acceleration.
Just because things tend to head downwards doesn't mean that there's an acceleration, though, right?
But now the thing is, you guys are claiming that this acceleration is due to gravity, but it's never been proven due to gravity. I can call it pixie dust if I want to. It doesn't make it due to pixie dust. That's why the whole argument is you guys are claiming gravity causes gravity.
Jeff is backstage here, flat.
I already got him in, dude.
Oh, did you? Okay. I just didn't see him. Okay. All right, now I see him.
Yo.
So, how you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Hello.
It's good to have so much people. We got 10 people in. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Now we're but yeah, when it comes to gravity, they call it the universal law of attraction. They call it gravity. That doesn't actually make it having even a law. Just because they call it that, it hasn't gone through any scientific rigors, nothing. I mean, even when you ask what is gravity, no one can really define it. The latest story behind it is space and time bending, but that's a mathematical construct. That's not reality. It's just you guys are basing everything off of a pre-assumption that you need this gravity. So you want to go and claim everything we see is due to this thing you don't know what it is.
I think in order for anybody to prove anything about gravity, they need to show us what element pulls everything towards itself. Because I've not seen this yet. I'd like to see that demonstrated. Until then, I'm not going to believe in gravity.
The problem is they say it's only on a planetary scale. So
you have to have mass.
Well, then it's wrong because we don't live on a planet. So,
well, they seem to think Cavendish experiment is proof of that. So, which is a load of garbage, and it's just
they're wrong.
Demonstration of electrostatics description.
Cavendish doesn't even really have a proper independent variable, so
No.
they can't make.
Well,
they
okay,
can't
the
even
Cavendish observation then.
yeah.
Whatever you want to call that. Yeah.
Gentlemen, I don't know if you got what I was saying earlier.
Going
I
back to
kind of
observational
lost you.
science.
Yeah, that's not science. The observation of Pontchartrain curving away is not due to physicality. It's just due to the optics and the conditions around it. That's what I was trying to make a point of.
I do have pictures of this if I need to show. But yeah, no, this optical illusion has been made on a flat table with a few sticks.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say thank you, Godzilla 37, for your $5 super chat. Very appreciate it. It says support the channel. Really appreciate the channel support, man. You are awesome. I think we better get on with the debate, guys.
Yes, we're not getting anywhere, man. We're not getting anywhere at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything in our world, right?
So hand wave dismissal, red herring fallacies, appeal to possibilities. That's your rebuttal. Okay, we can move on.
Fallacy,
name a fallacy.
Let's move
Do
on.
do you know that fallacies are important, Dave?
Now, I know that you guys name random fallacies to pretend that you've won something when you didn't. That's
You literally appealed to possibilities. You said there's probably something that could possibly be happening. You literally did a textbook appeal to possibility. It's all good.
You're pretending that one observation is worth more than thousands upon thousands of observations every single day.
I showed 10. I showed 10. It doesn't matter. You're just affirming the consequent and redefining your model by saying it explains everything. What about the
We see too far. We see too far.
We do see too far.
Which observations did they give you? The stars in opposite directions, or is there
which we can explain on a flat Earth? Yeah, I mean,
how do you explain that though?
That you're
like
looking.
Have you watched part 1?
We'll see. There's a demonstration.
I've watched this whole debate, so I know.
No, but I mean our part 1, our first stream.
Our rebuttal.
No.
Yeah. We covered that already.
When you cry, yeah. Okay, I'll just quickly give a quick summary. When you stand in front of a road, let's say it's a one-way, and the cars are traveling east to west, and you are facing north. Okay, they're traveling east to west, so they're going from your right to your left. So that would be representing clockwise. Now, if you cross that same road and turn around now, and you're looking south, those same cars are still going east to west. But now they are traveling from your left to right. So
this is the same problem that Witsit did in his example, because it's definitely not correct. That's all.
Explain why it's not correct.
Is the sky a wall?
What?
No, it's not a wall, man.
Just telling you it's
then
based
the
on
analogy
location.
is not acceptable.
Why?
Do you a lot of the time you don't look up at the stars, you look across to the stars now, don't you?
Yeah, but even then it doesn't work.
Why?
It always works.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, the stars' movement have nothing to do with the Earth itself. They move on their own.
I got a question for you. If you can only look straight up to see things far away, then why is it that stars appear on the horizon?
Yeah.
What?
Good question.
Do you understand how perspective works? Is what he's trying to basically put to you.
I can help.
Oh,
Well,
sure you can. Sure you
can't.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Can help
Yeah,
us.
it's Luca.
All right.
Hello.
We know.
Hey, Luca.
We sure you can.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, we don't really.
You're very
what
soft,
do you
Luca.
mean turn
Yeah, look, you need to turn your mic up.
Yeah, you need to do something. You're a bit soft, dude.
Can hardly hear you.
What do you mean turn around?
You look forward, and you decide, hang on, let me look back.
Yeah.
But
So you
turn around.
You do a 180. 180
So you guys are still pre-assuming you're on a ball and it's spinning. That's the problem in your own mind.
Yeah, but what if you don't turn around?
Well, then
The stars are still going in the same direction, dude.
The same direction, no matter what.
It's kind of obvious that your right is your left and your left is your right when you change directions.
Because you're still walking forward you're facing the exact same direction. You walk forward. The stars rotate in one direction. You keep walking forward, facing the exact same direction, and then all of a sudden the stars appear to rotate the other direction without you turning around.
I've got another one for you.
That
Have you
make
ever
sense.
seen airplanes fly in the sky?
Yeah.
Okay, now you stand and you watch an airplane come towards you. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it's coming towards you with its nose.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
look up as it's above you, and now you
Mhm.
turn around to watch as it flies away.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's still going the same direction, but now you're looking at its tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your orientation.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that the stars do a circular pattern around a certain point in the sky has nothing to do with the rotation of the Earth.
Nothing.
But you don't need to turn around to see the stars rotate in different directions.
How?
To look at the same star. Oh, to look in the same direction. Yes.
Yeah, you're looking in the globe. You're thinking of the globe again. You're thinking if you walk around from one pole to the other, you're going to see. You're going to eventually see the stars change direction. Who's done that? Who's done that?
Well, it just well.
Do yourself a favor.
It doesn't happen.
I got some homework for you guys. Tomorrow when the sun rises, okay? Make sure you stand looking north when it's rising, and then go in the middle of the day and see when it's above, and then when it's going to set, look south and see what you see, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want to expand on what Flatside said, because it's actually more accurate than what Witsit said. If you think about it, if right, so the lane closest to you is going left, the other one's going right, then you go onto the opposite side of the road, turn around. Which way is the one going left? Which lane is going left? Is it the nearest or furthest?
Sorry, say that again. Confused.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
That's why we don't use left and right when we're in the ocean. We use different ways so we can understand where we're at. You know what I mean?
That's why we use cardinal directions, because the
whole
cardinal
north,
directions
south,
is your reference.
That whole thing.
No, it references the space you occupy on the flat orb, ball, or whatever you want to call it. It just shows that space in the sky. Like when you stand in a certain spot on the Earth, you look straight up at a certain time, and you're going to see something, right? You'll either see a star, or you'll see nothing, right? So if you go to every place in the world, like if you've been there at some point or another, and you look straight up at the same time at night, then you will know that the stars are the same at that day in the year. They'll be exactly in the same spot. So if you just take a photocopy of the sky, and then you put it over the top of the surface of the Earth, that's what you'll get. You get a match. Get what I'm saying? You don't need to wrap it around the ball. You just lay it straight across. That's how we figure out where we're at. We go by latitude, longitude, and then altitude, right?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Let's right.
We're working a thought experiment now. Okay.
3 dimensions, okay?
That's what I was about to say, 3-dimensional, yeah.
Okay, look at it this way. Okay? This can be the representing the front of the plane. It's coming to me. You can see it looks to me like it's going from according to me, my right to left.
Yeah.
According to you guys, it's left to right.
Right, yeah.
Now, I'm going to do the same, but now I'm going to turn around.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, now it's coming left to right.
Yeah. Same as what we're
You guys
saying.
also left to right.
Yeah, because you're facing the same way as us.
Yes,
now.
but we don't need to turn.
You do need to.
Yes, to explain to you that if something is in the center of you, like between you and me, let's say if I'm looking across the Earth, whether it's a ball or whether it's flat, regardless, if I'm looking across the Earth and I can see you for some reason, or if I see a beam of light coming from where you're at on the Earth, that's what we're trying to explain to you. So when something moves between the two of us, if you're on the opposite side, right, it doesn't matter what it is, it's still going to be going from your left to right and my right to left. Get it? So it's going to seem differently. Okay, but what people don't understand is that the reason why they call it the Arctic and the Antarctic is because the stars don't necessarily go around the way you think they do. They go around a circle when you're in the center, but when you're on the outside, they actually go the opposite way. They actually seem to be going around and away from you. That's why they call it Antarctic. Do you understand that? It doesn't look like what you think it does. You've been lied to. That's the problem. There's so many things about the world that we've been lied to, and it's putting those pieces together that makes us understand it. You get it?
You just think North Pole one way, South Pole the other way. That's what you think. That's it. It's that simple for you. And it's North Pole one way, South Pole the other.
Is the clock on the ceiling analogy that Dave said?
Rubbish. Rubbish, because you're not inside that clock. You're looking up at that clock and it's too small. You need to be inside that clock.
You are the clock. The surface of the earth is the clock.
Yeah, that clock's
how you figured it out.
Because the clock's too small. Clock's too small.
Yeah, but
wait, so? Well, what do you mean it's too small?
What are you having trouble understanding? Do I need to draw it for you? Because I have a board here.
You're just looking at one side of a clock turning round. I mean, you'd need to be encompassed by it for it to be the same analogy.
Yes. You don't need to.
You would.
Because it's the argument of clockwise suddenly turning anti-clockwise.
Well,
No.
he was the one saying it.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said, though. I said the reason why they call it the Arctic and the Antarctic is because of the way the sky seems to rotate. It's Antarctic. It doesn't go in a circle when you're at the south. It doesn't.
Mhm.
It goes in a different shape. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I've not seen it with my own eyes, but I've had it explained to me, and I've read it in different places, in science books and all that. They explain it. Go up and go on Google and look it up. Why do they call it the Antarctic? Why do they call it the Arctic? They'll explain it to you because of the way the stars rotate. Okay.
Yeah, I think we've
already revealed
I
this.
think we're getting totally off of the topic. It's a nice
This
conversation,
point
but
has gone on too long. You even had to do
I
a
agree.
demonstration.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to
Oh, I
say,
can
guys,
draw it
I
up
did
for you.
stick a link. I did stick a link for the Go backup buddy for my mother-in-law's operation. If anybody is able to give anything, would be greatly appreciated. You guys rock, because it is a very expensive operation, and
Oh my God, the show was already diverted before I came here.
Okay, let's carry on with this debate.
Don't
Thank
worry
you.
about it.
What about the long distance radio waves? What about when we shoot radio waves line of sight?
That's
thousands
called
of
sporadic
miles.
E propagation. It bounces off a layer of the atmosphere.
Okay, that's called skywave propagation.
Okay, hold on.
Sporadic
Hold on,
E
hold on.
propagation.
Everyone's had
Try
their
elaborate.
say on that. Okay, let me ask you. Another thing that I found fascinating as a normie is the contention between the what do they call you, Dave? A glober?
I don't know.
What is the name?
Anti-flat earther.
Heads,
Just say it how it is.
Care.
And then, so the globe people and the flat people is the idea that one of the things that I saw Austin talk about and you talk about was that essentially 5,000 years ago, there was a different North Star. And the question around whether or not the stars move, because that is actually...
Yeah, they do claim there was a different North Star. Can they prove this, though?
No.
No.
The stars have never changed. Look at some of the monuments have made that still the pyramids still point to the same stars. They make holes in Stonehenge. Not that I agree with what Stonehenge is all about, but they still look through it. Still the same stars. Still.
I mean, ancient structures and texts prove this wrong.
Billions of years. Billions.
Old explorers used
Talking about
Polaris
billions of years.
to know where they were going.
I was joking. Because that's what they say, dude. That's
The
what they
Earth
say,
isn't billions of years old, just so you guys know. We're probably
Yeah,
talking
no,
maybe 7,000 to 8,000 years old.
Yeah.
At the most.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Absolutely,
but have you not realized anything that's propagated from the globe belief is, let's make it so invalidatable that you just have to accept it because consensus says so.
Because
You can't change the reality of how things are. If it takes a massive amount of time, it takes a massive amount of time. You can't change it.
What takes a massive amount of time?
And how did
See,
you
this-
how did you
You can make a diamond. It doesn't take long at all.
And how did you assess that amount? How did you assess that a massive amount of time? Because you can't observe it. So how do you know that?
Do you know how they observe it? The people
Nobody's
who
observed it.
Well, it's been
observes it.
documented.
How did
Carbon
someone
dating?
observe billions of years? Please.
Yeah, what? You mean carbon dating?
Documentation.
How can you
Dating is a load of garbage.
Yeah, I know.
How can you
We have-
document billions of years, Luch?
How?
Like documentation.
Billions
What
of
documentation?
years.
Documentation.
billions.
Do you know documentation only started like a few thousand years ago? Because humans are the only ones to document things.
The first dinosaurs only appeared in the 1500s by white men.
Dinosaurs didn't live with us.
No, dinosaur. The word
But
dinosaur.
why-
The word dinosaur is only about 100.
All right, I got an emergency, family emergency. I got to go, guys. Sorry about that.
All right, dude. Laters, man. God bless. God bless.
Yes, Moon Rider, you can do it through PayPal. Just say in the PayPal it's for the surgery, then I'll just pay it through like that to the backup buddy. Do appreciate it. Really appreciate it. You rock, man. Yeah, it's because the thing is, we're trying to get through, but to go through, it's been like 2-3 years now, and she's even struggling to walk now at all.
Oh,
and every time she goes to the doctors, they keep just postponing and saying, come back in 3 months. Come back in 3 months. Say, come back in another 3 months or 6 months.
And see what you're like then. In the meantime, just
Crazy.
deteriorate.
And at the
Yes.
meantime, she's practically like crippled now because they're waiting so long.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
So yeah, I do appreciate everybody that has actually supported this and stuff, and I do appreciate everybody. I haven't asked in a long time because I don't feel I need to push it on anyone, but really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, it's simple, guys. There is no billions of years old. There is no star that was before. This is all just conjecture, and it's all just based on a belief. There is no observation of billions of years. It's anybody that says there is just has to bring the evidence for us, and there is none.
Well, what about the cosmic microwave background radiation or whatever?
Yeah, the BMC background doesn't show anything other than there's a microwave radio background.
He's just, he's.
Well, it shows a cooling rate, right?
So
if we can, you
Diversion.
know how
You
something
don't know.
is cooling at a rate of like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like, you know. But if something, okay, let's use this. Let's say something is cooling by a second a day or something, and then don't you think you could measure that to find out how hot it was? You know, don't you think you could measure that?
Luca, do you believe in the Big Bang?
The Big Bang wasn't exactly a bang. It wasn't an explosion.
Do you believe the Big Bang? That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying if it was a bang. I'm asking, do you believe it in the Big Bang?
The theory of the Big Bang. Yeah.
I believe in expansion.
Well, I believe in contraction too.
Expansion.
Genuinely never heard this.
But sure, whatever the Big Bang was, it was expansion. So yeah, I'll go with the Big
Well,
Bang.
So,
have you ever seen
if it's
the principle? Yeah. Sorry.
If it's an expansion, how did these
balls
these pieces of mass and gas coalesce into balls? If it's an expansion, it's going out the way. How come these things turned into balls of gas?
Hold on, PJ. It was gravity. That's the explanation.
Oh, right. Oh, wow. Exactly.
Well, you know what? I've actually got a question for all you guys. I don't know. Qualified, are you an atheist?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you understand ontological primitives?
What?
The ontological primitives.
Either we were created by a created being or nature created itself.
Yeah. Yep.
So you would say nature created itself.
So that means nature must have a consciousness.
It's alive, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that there was a creator.
But you like the idea.
So guy created a big bang and it just kind of
Well,
happened on its own.
the reason I'm bringing that up though is let's look at the ontological primitives. Let's look at all observed reality. Is there anything in reality that has been observed that has not had creation?
Everything's been created.
It got quiet.
Yeah. That's it.
Hey, Luca, have you ever watched The
You
Principle?
always freeze up on this question. Bite the bullet, Luca. Can you have something that's created without a creator?
I guess trees.
What? Trees.
The first trees, I guess. They
Trees
were
are created, man.
They're created. They had to be created. Everything's created. Animals, trees.
Even before trees, they would say that it was water, right? But on Earth, it would actually be a rock flaming ball that got hit by another ball.
Yeah,
I've said this many times. This idea: if you walk along a beach and you see a beautiful, magnificent sandcastle, are you going to think to yourself, "Wow, that sandcastle created itself," or someone went and took the time and built that sandcastle?
Someone obviously built it. Yeah.
There you go.
That's the ontological primitives. Observation
I can take
shows
it.
we are created.
I can take it even further than that.
No one really built.
There we go.
Yeah.
Exactly, mate.
But no one really built a tree, did they? You can't say somebody made
created.
a
No.
tree.
Oh, God.
Created it. He didn't say build it. He spoke it in. Lord God spoke it into existence. That's creation. He didn't get his hands and start getting little chips of wood that he would have just magic out from somewhere and started building them together one on top of each other.
This is the same argument, Luca.
Yeah.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
I
thing
got a
that
good story for you right
the whole
quick.
thing, hold on, wait. Before you say that,
Go
the
ahead.
whole thing that makes God is that he is the only uncreated thing. That he's outside of creation.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
He's the Alpha and Omega.
Stupid argument. Or I'm not going to say you're stupid, but, All right, go ahead, Roger.
So,
I'm glad we're thinking about it.
In the end.
Yeah.
God said, let it be. Luca, God said, let it be. And it was. He spoke things into existence. He didn't have to take his hands and start, but it's not making something. It's not building something. It's
you know the irony.
something.
Yeah, you know the irony of the whole atheistic worldview and stuff.
Exactly.
It still hinges on at the end of it that you still need God to have created everything, because you need an uncreated being to create everything. Nature, by definition, cannot create itself. It violates natural law. It violates the first law of thermodynamics.
I really want to hit Luca with the killer question.
Nature creating itself violates a first how?
Can I say something right quick, guys? There's a little analogy I want to run past you right quick. There's a whole bunch of scientists get together and they were going to make their own creation. And God said, "Oh, go ahead, make your own creation." And he's like, they're out there gathering up materials and stuff. But now, wait a minute, you can't do that. That's my creation. In other words, you have to have, get your own sand, get your own dirt.
Yeah.
Well, you can't claim a created thing as your own.
No, he's saying this whole joke that he's saying is the atheists go to God and say, we don't need you, God. We can create everything ourselves. God says, okay, go ahead, go do it. And the atheists go, the scientists, and they start picking up sand. And God says, "What you doing?" He says, "No, I'm taking the sand." He says, "No, get your own sand." And they're like, "Okay." They're walking. They're trying to get water. He says, "No, get your own water."
Absolutely.
Get it?
In other words, God created it.
Everything
period.
Everything was created by God.
Absolutely.
You're getting it.
Absolutely. Dude.
I mean,
that's the whole premise.
I don't believe in cloning, but even if cloning were to exist, this would affirm the premises of God, because we are the intelligent life creating another intelligent life. So what created us? An intelligent life.
Exactly.
That's why God's supernatural. It's not natural,
Yeah.
and we can't
That's right.
explain it.
Yeah.
And trying to is impossible.
Supernatural. Supernatural.
Everyone hit those likes.
Natural can't.
Share
Natural
the show.
You guys get the likes, share the show.
Natural.
Okay, now we went
natural
off topic
is
again. Let's try again. I thought we
Yeah.
were going to have to do like 44 shows of this.
Yeah, go for
Okay.
it. Go for it.
Thanks, Luca.
Paramount to the idea that the Earth is rotating around the sun versus the Earth being the center of the universe. So Austin, I'll go to Austin, then I'll go to Dave, and then next time we'll start with Dave. So in the flat Earth model, is it that the stars? Can you explain the stars thing to the layman in the flat Earth model?
Okay. Wait, the star thing? Like the question you just asked about the star moving or something else?
Well, I thought maybe I misunderstood. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the flat Earth mindset was that the stars did not move. Is that not true?
Sure.
Am I wrong about that? Okay.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this moderator's not that good.
No, he's not.
We agree with you, Luca. We agree with you.
I don't think his
No.
I don't think he's moderated a debate before.
No, he hasn't.
That's because he's not moderating.
No, this is first one.
Listen to it. He's not moderating.
Yeah.
It's not. He's not
Yeah,
there
man,
to
you're right,
moderate.
man.
He was just there to have them on there and have a discussion. There was no debate really.
Also, hold on. I just want to address someone in the chat. They said I was begging the question to say because God could have been an intelligent creator created by something else. This is the whole thing because it eventually infinitely regresses into an end point. So even if we're like a little atom considered like our world is actually fake, which I don't think so, right? It would eventually just go on and on until it has to have a starting point.
Yeah, I mean, this is the infinite regress argument. It's just it has to go eventually to a point that has to be created, and God is the uncreated being. He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. He is the creator.
Yeah.
Literally, from him all things come.
Yeah.
There was nothing before.
No.
I'm going to look at a good analogy. Look at the Russian dolls. Remember those little? But there's a God within a God within a God within a God that created that God that's on the outside that you're seeing.
Only
That'd be a good analogy.
supernatural can create not.
Yeah.
Oh, froze up.
Am I being held?
Yeah. Go ahead, PJ.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just because Roger kept talking over the top of me. I don't know. Hold on. I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, only supernatural can create natural. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Natural can't do it. I mean, we can't even understand supernatural. We can only understand this as far as our natural mind will let us go. We're limited. God's not limited.
Were we talking about something, or are you just going to continue?
Okay, let's start again. Let's go on.
Okay, well,
Or correct
the
me.
claim there is a claim that the North Star used to be a different star, and it's a very vague, ambiguous claim based on like architecture. So there's no actual legitimate evidence verifying that. For all legitimately recorded history, we have Polaris. But there is something called a kinematic equivalence, which sure that sounds fancy, but it's not.
Hold on. I know you're explaining it, but you didn't add. So is it? What is the flat Earth position on stars? Do they move or do they?
Yeah,
not
they move.
They move every day. That's called sidereal rotation. If you mean over time, there does seem to be a slight progression of the stars. But what I'm trying to explain is that isn't exclusive to the Earth moving or not moving, right? It's called kinematic equivalence, which is what relativity is about, relative motion. It's like, oh, is the plane moving?
Because I have to stop there.
Mm-hmm.
He loves bringing this kinematic equivalence.
I know.
He just had
I'm
to.
misinformed.
I would have just stopped it there and said, "Yeah, the stars move," but it's got nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. So therefore, let's move on to something else. Because, like I said in part 1 as well, this has been the thing with Dave. He's trying to keep him up in the sky instead of on Earth. Because when he did try and bring up the horizon on the Earth, Dave was just, nah, I'm not going to just accept it.
Witsit's too good faith, though. He's really good faith when it comes to debating. feel
Yeah.
bad.
Witsit's good. He's really upped his game, but I think I would have done this differently and said, okay, let's just get back down to Earth because we're busy talking about Earth now. But
I mean,
this is the trap he falls into because now he's going to start talking about the ether. You understand? He's going to get this, and his trap is fallen. He's going to have to try and prove now the ether.
Jeff
He always falls into that trap, unfortunately.
Jeff Gass just said stars have no parallax, which they don't. They don't. Don't see any parallax with stars, which you should.
Yeah.
On a heliocentric Earth, anyway. It's heliocentric
because they're an extremely far distance away.
It would have to be. It would have to be an extremely.
You'll still have parallax. It'll just be just
you need to be able to explain something to me. The constellation Orion. Okay, the constellation Orion is visible to me all year round. Explain that. And you can't.
Me too.
You can't say it's too far away because it's 180 degrees in the opposite direction from 6 months away from each other. So you can't explain that.
No.
You try to, but you can't.
They're trying to, and they're trying to make the reality their model, and they can't fit it into the globe. It doesn't work with everything.
That's right.
The problem I see with that is I feel like you're thinking about the sun and how that's
what
that changes over the year, and you're expecting the stars to do the same.
You actually are draw a circle, and then draw two circles like in parallel with each other. So you have 3 in a row. Okay, the center would be the sun, and if you're looking away from the sun, that would be night sky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then if you go on the other circle on the other side of the sun, you're looking in the other direction, which is the night sky. Okay. And Orion is on the equator. So the equator is in level with the sun, essentially. So it's exactly 180 degrees opposite sky that you're looking at, which you're not. It's not a different sky. It's the same sky night after night, all the time.
I would like to see, though.
Explain that to me.
I would like to see, though, like nights by nights time lapses of the stars and compare how it is, between like months. See what kind of difference there is, because there probably is, but it's incredibly slight because they are light years away.
Oh my goodness, you are not understanding. Okay,
light years away.
When you're facing one direction and you're facing 180 degrees the other direction, you cannot see it.
It's like
you understand that.
It's like expecting to me. I'm looking at you guys, expecting me to be able to say I can see what's behind my back.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
And that's what they describe, but it's not visible to us.
Yeah.
And during daylight hours, you can't see it. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
So quickly said thank you for your £2 super chat, Mandela. Really appreciate it. Says Dave showed it spinning his globe. Jonathan, you rock, man. Really appreciate the super chat.
Like if you actually physically draw this on a piece of paper, okay, just take it. Take a piece of paper, draw a circle, and then draw 2 other circles exactly across from each other. So you have 3 circles. You can draw the one in the middle bigger, okay? And then if you have an arrow pointing to your left, on the left, pointing to the left, the other one pointing to the right. Those are in exact opposite directions, and that's physically where the Earth would have to be to see the night sky. And you can see Orion all year round. All year round.
Right.
That would be possible because of it.
Exactly. 100% you could not see it at all. It would be a totally different night sky altogether.
Yep. Absolutely.
You just, I think you're trying to think that because it's so many light years away, you can, that's why you can see it. It's like, no, they're in the exact opposite direction. You're not thinking in 3-dimensional space. You're just thinking, oh, well, it's really far away, so that's why I can see it. No, it's in the opposite direction.
And that's how they write off parallax, right? That's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah.
It's so far away, you're not going to see the parallax between the sun and the stars at all.
Yeah. I'd say there's no parallax because they're all the same bloody distance away. That's why.
I want to shout out to Samuel Robotham, right quick. Thank you, Parallax. He figured that out a long time ago. If you read his books, he goes into detail with this stuff. A lot of people just write him off as a kook. Yeah.
I was just going to say overqualified globe hard. If you start thinking about this too hard, you might start causing smoke to come out. So
I'm smoking 24/7,
just draw it out.
baby.
Actually, physically draw it out. Try.
No,
I
think I understand. I do think I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
All I can say is I'll look into it. That's all I can really say.
Yeah,
and
definitely do.
When you go out, look for Orion's belt in the night sky. It'll be there.
All right.
Weird. Yeah. Just find out where it is first, though.
Moving or am I moving? You can never tell. That's what the globe model says. So anything that moves in the sky could by default not prove that we were the ones moving according to the official globe model. That's the point I'm making. It's called a kinematic equivalence. So whatever the stars are doing, because we can't go back thousands of years and verify if the North Star was different, whether it was or wasn't, it doesn't prove the Earth is moving.
So, Dave, your response to that?
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, North Star became Polaris in like 600 CE or something.
6,000 years ago or something. Yeah.
No. Way more recent than that. Polaris. It was Thuban in the times of the Egyptians. Became Polaris. So that's well documented. But furthermore, we don't need to do that. We can very accurately observe Milankovitch cycles. We can see the precession of the rotational axis happens every year. It can be measured, and then there's parallax and all these other things.
Measured parallax.
Oh, you went right to parallax. Yeah.
Measured parallax. Okay. Can you show us this measured parallax? Show us the data, Dave.
Yeah.
Right now.
He's saying a lot of things, but I mean, is he going to provide the data for this claims he's made?
Well, you have to make it up, man. He's got to make it up just like the radius.
Exactly. Oh, we lost Roger.
But that's not really what matters, because again, he's trying to do this thing where he doesn't have to where he's pretending that geocentrism doesn't assume a spherical Earth. When the argument was going on in the Renaissance, early Renaissance,
Whoa, Dave! Don't even try to go there, because if you're going to the Ptolemy model, they took the flat Earth and made it into a sphere. It was already geocentric before that, Dave. Just to let you know, it wasn't always spherical. Geocentric doesn't specifically mean spherical. Just to let him know. I mean, it was actually geocentric spherical for a few hundred years before they made it geocentric spherical heliocentric. So I don't know. Should we take a vote? Dave's actually going to know the history based on geocentric history, or he's not going to know. Type 1 in chat if he does know. Type 2 in chat if you think he's just going to make shit up. Cheers, Jeff. Thanks for coming, man. Really appreciate you coming in.
Or as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, they say the globe started with what? Pythagoras? Not Pythagoras, the Greeks, right? Or do they say Egypt?
Yeah, the sphericity started with actually the Greeks, because they believed God created a perfect shape. The sphere was a perfect shape, and God's only a perfect being, so he only creates perfect shapes. So therefore,
I've seen this in another one of your lives. It's not really a perfect shape. Sacred geometry in nature, circles are really not that common.
No, it isn't. Yeah, it's more hexagons and things that are more common than circles. Actually, the only reason they're taking like spheres and stuff is, for instance, like a drop of water, but that's because we got gas pressure around it all over. It's pushing in all directions. So obviously, it turns into.
So the Greeks would believe a geocentric sphere, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Greeks started off with the geocentric sphere. There was the Ptolemy model, and then came the Copernican model, where it was heliocentric.
And then when was that?
Sure, that was like 340 years after.
Yeah, okay, I was thinking so. They and then they had to change it.
Was writing the neologist in like the 2nd or 3rd century, and then Nicholas Copernicus wrote The Revolutions of the Heavenly Spheres in, I think, 1543, which kicked off the scientific revolution in Europe.
Yeah.
So it was after,
so
it was like over 1,000 years of.
This whole heliocentric model is the young religion, you could say. That hasn't been that long around. They want to make it sound like it's thousands of years, but no. It's the heliocentric model specifically is only 500 years old.
Well, yeah, like Nicholas Copernicus, yeah, but there was Aristarchus in ancient Greece, but he wasn't the dominant idea. So he's noted for the distance to the sun claim, and he's also noted for being like the first major heliocentrist. But the other Greeks at the time, like Hipparchus and I guess Ptolemy, yeah. And then since Ptolemy's Almagest was like the dominant work on astronomy for like 1,000 years, everybody was a geocentrist in Europe, pretty much. And there was only a few outliers around the time of Nicholas Copernicus, like Giordano Bruno, and then obviously Copernicus, Galileo, and stuff like that.
All right, I guess you're going to put up a new poll, you said? Because the other poll, everyone said, yeah, Dave doesn't know what word salad is.
So a lot of
By the way, Flatzoid, if you want for the history, you could just pull up the book that I sent you, because it goes through a bunch of flat earth geocentrist views. So you should cite that book more often if you want to.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we should actually have a chat stream sometime. We can chat all this stuff. It's difficult now because we're trying to get through this actual debate. I mean, what we've done about 10 minutes, maybe.
All right, go ahead.
Geocentrism and heliocentrism, we knew that the Earth was a sphere. So every time he does this kinematic equivalence thing, the kinematic equivalence he's trying to refer to is whether the Earth goes around the sun or if the sun goes around the Earth, not doing little donuts on a pizza land. That's not an equivalence.
The kinematics equivalence is just the reference form. That's all. You can do it on a donut too, Dave. It's just to make a pattern around a starting reference. So yeah, it can work on a flat earth too, man. Doesn't need to be a sphere specifically. You can do it on a cube.
Yeah, because he does show this later.
Also, on a deeper level, if you prove that it's flat, then you can never have a heliocentric model at all, because nothing would make sense. Like, you couldn't take, say, like the Copernican, model of the cosmos, inject a flat Earth, and then have everything working properly. So as soon as you prove that it's flat, then you disprove the heliocentrism, because nothing would work, because it all needs it to be a ball.
Yeah.
True fact.
Those are not equal things. We're talking about one going around one or the other going around the other. Those are the two things. So geocentrism, you often try to defend a geocentric model. It assumes a spherical Earth.
No,
that is an actual model that can, to some reasonable precision, describe the motions of the celestial objects and put them where they're supposed to go and predict quantitatively where they're going to be. Flat Earth doesn't have that. You don't have any model. You don't have any way of saying this is where the planets are going to be. This is when an eclipse is going to happen. Any of these things. You absolutely cannot do any of those things. That's why I told you in the beginning.
And that is total poppycock.
Dave is so full of it.
It does. Dave, even in the beginning, this is his strategy in this debate. You can even see it from the beginning, to just say, you're not going to refute me, and then hope it works. Or, he just makes a...
Dave is literally throwing shit to the fan.
Yeah. It works for their audience, though. It does. I mean, they eat it up.
If you want to defend geocentrism, that's totally fine. We can talk about how we know that the Earth moves, which is a completely different topic from knowing whether the Earth is round or flat, because geocentrism uses a spherical Earth.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, response to that, Austin.
Okay, so what's happening is I'm specifically addressing the singular point, and you're gish galloping. No. So, like, you want me to address everything you just said, right? Like, for one,
kinematic equivalence has nothing to do.
How about this? Just I'll throw it back to you real quick. why is geocentrism exclusive to the Earth being a sphere?
Because it's a model that works. Flat Earth doesn't work. It does.
Oh, man. That's his rebuttal. Why is it exclusive to spherical Earth? Because it's a
Because it
model that works.
Oh goodness! Oh god!
Really bad, isn't it? Yeah.
If he say reification fallacy, if he said reification fallacy, he would have went fallacy.
So
and Dave's supposed to be an academic.
So geocentrism works as long as it's a globe. You know what I mean? Ridiculous, man. He's saying that's more
This guy's supposed to be
logical
an
than flat Earth. No.
Yeah, but I mean, Dave's supposed to be this academic, and at the moment, I don't think. I think if he had to go and have a discussion with actual academics, they'd laugh him out the room.
I think when they think geocentric flat Earth, they think that the proportions of the sun and the moon stay the exact same.
Yeah. No, because he probably only read up to the Platonic model, and he thinks, okay, because it's explaining geocentrism as a sphere, therefore it can only be spherical. No, dude.
Yeah.
The first models were flat geocentric based. Every civilization in history had flat geocentric models. So the guy doesn't even know history.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
I mean, how about the Mayans, for instance? They tracked quite accurately how the luminaries were moving around. They were flat earthers. They had a flat model, geocentric flat model.
Globetard, because you're the only glober here, do you deny this, that ancient civilizations, they believed this geocentric flat Earth?
I don't really care for that personally, because we're just. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, like, if they did or not.
I don't know, man. This is your guy, I guess. We can continue then.
Doesn't explain anything we see, like the observations of the celestial sphere that you keep running away from. You cannot explain why the stars rotate one way in the north and the other way in the south. You cannot explain that.
All right, I'm going to take my time back and let me respond to everything you said, because you didn't answer. So the answer is that it's not, because with everything
you didn't answer. That's fine.
You didn't. You just started talking about star trails again. So with everything going on in the quote unquote universe, you said universe wouldn't exist. No, maybe not as you've defined it, but with everything going on, all the quote unquote planets, everything moving around, the Earth's shape doesn't matter. You just project that relative to your projection. You create a transform relative to your projection or your assumption of motion.
Observations of the night
Buddy,
sky.
I let you finish.
Why is he talking over him?
And then the moderator doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, no, just nothing. It doesn't say anything. It's not like, Dave, just relax, man. Come on.
Sure. Chill out. Okay. So
let him finish. Let him finish, Dave.
So the truth is that all observations have shown that the Earth is stationary. We have the cosmic microwave background, which showed anisotropic inhomogeneous distribution of energy, which is the exact opposite of the heliocentric prediction, and intersected on the Earth. The 23.4 degree axis was on a non-local observation.
This is what's
Oh god! I really, I wanted to make a remix of the Wiggles fruit salad song. It is good. Word salad.
Word
yummy,
salad.
Yummy.
What I mean, how is that word salad though?
I feel like it is a cop out. It's a clip. He's clipping him.
Yeah. But I mean, how's that word salad though? He's specifically explaining to him how it's reference based.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with shape, and now it's word salad.
He's gonna ask.
Dude, define word salad.
You're just using words. You're trying to pretend that cosmology proves the Earth is flat. Then all cosmologists would be flat earthers. Do you have any
straw
idea?
man?
You're trying to prove cosmology proves the Earth is flat. That is what cosmology is, you numbnuts. It's the
I'm sorry, but he really said you're just using words to deflect. Wow.
Yeah. That was the most idiotic statement I have ever heard. He literally just said, you're using words, that makes it word salad. And then tops it all off, you arguing cosmology so you can prove it's flat. That is exactly what cosmology is. The shape of the earth, the realm we live in.
Mm-hmm. All of it encompassed into
What
cosmology. Yep.
Now I know why Dave won't debate me. Now I know.
Hi.
Insane you sound. No, it's not. You're pretending to understand cosmology. You're pretending
What
to
did I say that was word salad, Dave?
No, I'm saying it's word salad because it is word salad.
Yeah,
I like
name
talking
one
about
thing
the
I
shape
said
of
that
the
was
earth.
word salad.
We're talking about the shape of the earth. You're defending a flat earth, which we figured out it isn't true in 2,500 years ago.
That's not word salad, Dave. He's asking
Because
very
it's because he says he is.
Yeah. He doesn't know what word salad is.
I'll just give my perspective on this because
Yeah.
When they say word salad, it's not just like a jumble of words put together. It's a jumble of technical terms put together.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
I said this earlier, I think, in the stream, or I said it before we started. And that's what I think. That's what Dave thought, that it's using big words that he doesn't know. The problem is that he's using words that he's just using words that Dave doesn't know.
That's it. That's it.
And he explains it to him earlier, and he says, "Which ones did I use?" He says, "I can't remember what you said there."
Yeah, because it's hard to remember a long stream of technical terms just like smashed together.
I don't know, man. Maybe not a Professor Dave should give up his title.
Yeah, I agree.
But the problem is, why can't Witsit explain things in basic English? Why does he have to default to these?
He did. I mean, he's not a layman's terms person.
Can I ask why? Can I ask what didn't he explain in layman's terms? It's very simple.
Yeah, to be fair,
he asked him very simple.
I don't know if there's a layman's term for kinematic equation.
Well,
it's very layman. He just said it's reference based.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the shape. The whole movement is based on the reference of where you start. The shape is irrelevant because it's based upon where you start your reference on what shape. So that shape doesn't really matter. That's his whole point. I don't see where the word salad is that. And when he asked Dave, what is word salad? Dave can't even answer him what word salad is. So
someone's layman terms for one person might be different layman's terms for another. Which is
but I mean, how more layman can you make it? I don't know.
Exactly. Which is just talking how he talks. It's just good. He talks fast, and when he talks, and actually he's quite reserved here. He's not even talking fast or anything here. I think he's actually more layman than what he usually is.
And the problem is
these words calm down a lot.
These words, like obviously it can't be there's not like a layman term for them because it's not used in normal conversation. These are technical terms, right?
Yeah.
So no one's
making it as basic as possible. It's still It's not like it's difficult words to understand. I mean, let's just take these two. Okay, these are two glues. They're two different models. They're different shapes. Now, if you've got a certain movement around this model and you have this as geocentric, and now that doesn't matter with the shape, what's moving around it is just moving around it based on what the reference is. Now, you can do the same on this. It's just going to have different movements based on the reference.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't matter the shape.
Yes. I mean, that is essentially what heliocentric, geocentric is. It's not about the shape. It's about what is rotating around
movement,
what, or if it's moving or not.
And you're trying to talk about modern cosmology to try to talk about this when you can't even explain naked eye observations of the stars in the sky.
Okay, look, they're directly related. The idea is that the Earth is a tilted, wobbling, spinning sphere that revolves around the sun. The alternative is that the Earth is a geocentric, stationary plane. Both of those are directly related.
Sphere that is a stationary sphere. was the alternative. Prior to heliocentrism, we thought that it was a stationary
Stop interrupting.
sphere.
Hold on.
You keep going off the rails. I got to bring you back to what we're talking about.
Who's
on,
going
guys.
off the
Okay.
rails?
What? Dave's the one talking the
Wow.
whole time.
Unbelievable projection there, or what?
He must have
really
really.
directly answering him.
Oh
Yeah.
god, man. This guy's an actor.
Mm.
Insane. Okay. Ooh.
Getting some flack for allowing too much interruptions. That's on me. I know that both of you feel passionately about this, but please try to keep that to a minimum. But I do want to say, most importantly, I think it's really important and really cool that both of you took time out on a Saturday night to get online and do this and stream. And I just want to thank, I just want to give a shout out. I don't care who people back who are watching or whatever, both channels are linked in the description. Witsit gets it if you heat up. It's a weekend night. The Edge. I showed up at Earth is the commonly accepted opinion. So
Sure.
I want to be fair, and I'm not doing awesome at it, but I'm trying. So I want to say, if there are specific positions against the sphere or against that you want Dave to answer for, I want to give you that opportunity. But one thing that is what I found fascinating today was the idea of the ice wall or Antarctica. There's a lot of craziness around that, because what I thought, just being unbiased, trying to be unbiased, but I guess being honest, that is very hard for me to believe. Because people can literally go to Antarctica. It's not like I saw.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Has anybody, I don't know, gone to an island before?
Yes. Yep.
A large island.
Yeah, I live on one.
And they drop you off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can walk that whole island, okay? And you just walk it, but can you see the whole island? I'm talking about a large island altogether. No, you can't. How are you going to know every part of that island just because you walk there? Just because you went to the island?
Their only argument would be that, it's not actually militarized and you can actually explore there, which it's not true then. So they really have no argument that,
I like Jaren's explanation of there's some kind of tripwire that, once you cross, the military is on your ass. It's okay, the entire outer perimeter. That's not going to happen.
Well, let's put it this way. Why do you think you need so many permits and stuff to go over? Why is it if you don't have this permit, somehow the military does get to you?
Yeah. If it's that easy to go over, why is it taking this final experiment, this big operation to do it? To get together?
There's a lot of permits to get.
I just feel kind of weirded out that, all the countries that are apparently going to war with each other still have a treaty on that, even though it's apparently it's the best it's the best spot for nukes. It's the best it would be the best area
strategically on a globe. That would be one of the best places to be. Mm-hmm. I just want to say thank you, Roger, for your $5. Just want to apologize. My phone died. Love you all. And I see Roger's back in. Thank you. I've been
up for a while, so I might be wording stuff a little jittery.
No, that's cool. Don't worry, man. We all do it, man. I do it myself.
Going back to what was said, don't you think that the Arctic regions are dangerous to go through?
Arctic regions.
I don't know, man. Don't Eskimos live there? No, they don't, right? I'm saying in cold areas, right? I don't know. I guess that's the only other argument, that it's so that's actually just bad weather conditions that
Oh,
to explore it. Even then, oh yeah. The argument would be that there's people that that's so bad, the conditions are so bad that we can't explore there. I mean, but there's people that have flat earthers, I'm pretty sure, that have documented it, and they get turned around. I can't, of course, give you a source, but I don't know. Maybe Flatzoid knows what I'm talking about. It's like a team. It was a team.
The one thing that reminds me of is like some guys on the boats that were turned around by military.
Yeah, no, that's not the only. That's not the only video.
Look, the one day you shoot on that video was actually, it wasn't at Arctic though. It was more.
Yeah. I heard that. Yeah.
Private waters. That's the one you talk about off the coast of Australia. But there was what's that guy that was arrested? Orville or Oriel or whatever. He was actually arrested because he even tried to go back to look for his friends that had vanished or something, and he went without permits, and they arrested him.
Power on.
Because as I said, it's really weird how you can try go, but you need a lot of permits. And if you don't have permits, how do they see you in the middle of nowhere? You know what I mean? They're just somehow able to intercept.
Also, before you start this again, one thing that there's also other places that reach way higher humidity and coldness that people are allowed to live in. That isn't restricted. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if you go to Antarctica, you're still bound by where you're allowed to go, who you're allowed to go with, whatever. You can't just go freely as they claim to be able to. You have a set place that you have to stay, and the excuses is, "Oh, it's for your own safety." It's easy just to say for your own safety.
All right, continue.
Okay, let's go.
I watched a lot of Flat Earth video. I told you guys before. I watched almost 8 hours, and I was like, these bastards better show up, because I spent my whole Saturday watching Flat Earth videos. But like
8 hours.
I was watching like the Antarctica thing, which is a common talking point. And people go there all the time. So what is the Flat Earth position about the rim? Basically, that's what people in chat are asking that. What's going on the edges in the Flat Earth? And then Dave, I'll give you a chance to, is that okay? I'll give you a chance to respond to that. Okay.
All right. First of all, to address the first part, I'm cool with asking questions. That's the natural response, because Flat Earth is so out of left field for most people.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a normal conversation thing, not a like he's supposed to be debating me thing. But it's all good. Okay. I'm pretty chill.
I mean, I can let you guys just go at it too if that's what you want.
No, it's cool. I want to answer your question. Okay. This is the typically held position. You cannot freely and privately explore past the 60th south latitude, okay, which is a ring around the outside. So to independently and freely identify and verify what all is out there is not possible. Do people go there? Yes, you can go on approved guided tours. Most of the time, it's like just a couple locations. They say it's super dangerous. I have a friend that was this is anecdotal, but a former NASA employee was stationed there for 6 months. He's a flat earther. It's admittedly the highest elevation.
This is one thing. I don't know. Maybe you'll be able to say overqualified. There's so many people that have gone to Antarctica and stuff that's been stationed and worked there and said they've never seen like the sunset or anything.
That's true.
Would you say that would just be dishonesty of them if there was?
If there was what?
That's a good question.
Setting sun. I mean, look at the one guy that Nathan even interviewed. He was stationed for 18 months. And he said he always saw the sunset. He never saw a 24-hour sun.
We've got the final experiment, so we'll just see what happens with that.
They just have to wait until that. That's their final key.
I find it very ironic, though, that we don't care what's going to be shown because we know the truth. They need to hinge on this because that's like the last card they got.
But what if they show clearly a 24-hour sun? What then?
What then? What's it going to disprove on a flat Earth?
It's going to disprove that the sun circles around, and there's going to be Like it's like that coffee cup caustic that Witsit brought up. Like what?
Yeah, internal reflections.
Yeah, you know, reflecting the sun. It's like if there's a 24-hour sun,
Think about it
coffee
this
cup
way:
caustic does not explain that.
it does. It proves a firmament, a physical firmament.
Yep.
No matter what you guys,
I
no matter
think
what's
he's
going to be
saying-
shown, there, it's going to prove a flat Earth. That's the whole point.
I think Globetard's saying if they show the actual sun.
And they're not going to be able to, but yeah.
Yeah. Just like that's a big
We know
what
they can't.
if. That's a big what if, right?
Mm.
Well,
Very big. I think it'll go to pot. It's not going to happen. Something's got to happen that'll just mess up.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why it's called the final experiments, because everything else just gets discarded
I
by
wish-
flat earthers.
I wish I actually wish it
can't-
wouldn't be called the final experiment because it is an experiment, though.
It's not even an experiment. It's an observation.
I would say it's a final
Observation.
straw for the globe.
Aye.
That's what I'm saying.
What would be a final experiment?
It's not an experiment. How is it an experiment?
Because just think of this: psychology.
Psychology. Okay.
Yeah.
Psychological experiment.
Psychological experiment. Okay, that's
Yeah,
that's not
because it's
scientific
showing how
experiment.
willing globers, like Dave McKeegan, just snaps up to offer like right there and then. What's about flat earthers? Flat Earth Dave has refused, calling it the distance. It's debatable whether Jaren and Austin are going to go because they keep on piling up more requirements. Oh, I want Jaren saying, "Oh, I want Austin to go," and then Will gives up his place, and then Austin's like, "No, go." It's like you just making things more awkward for him, just to provide an excuse for them not to go without the blame being put on them, because it's like, oh, you won't go then, I won't go.
Well, the last I heard, it was all confirmed. Witsit was going, Jaren's going, but Pastor Duffy's not going. Somebody's
Well,
going. on his
I
way.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
think
want to
the
travel
key-
with that globe side. Let's put it that way.
And there's
the
going to
globies
be
that are going, it's the last
Yeah.
globies I'd ever want to go spend 5 days with.
exactly.
That's-
There's about six. There's about 6 globers and two flat earthers.
7.
Is it
Yeah.
unrealistic? Is
Yeah.
it unrealistic to say that they should just record a? Well, then we could say it's CGI. That's what they'll say. But recording a plane going circumnavigating the whole globe, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been waiting for that for a
And
long
actually
time,
not
dude.
taking a
Nobody's
deviation.
done.
Yeah, not taking a deviation.
Mm.
That would be the final exploration in my book. Is a north-south
what was that?
circumnavigation.
What was that got to do with the experiment anyway? What you said? You said it's
That's not
I said
scientific
it's
at
not
all.
an experiment.
No, I said like optical. I
No,
said
not
optical.
you. No, not you. Disqualified, overqualified globetrotter. I'm on about. No, you
Yeah,
were
I
on
mean,
about Witsit and all that, and I was on about it not being a scientific experiment. It's just an
Well-
observation. It's just you're going there
Yeah.
to look at something. That's not an experiment. That's just an observation. That's the first part of an experiment, but there's no hypothesis or anything there. You know.
That's where we get mixed up with astronomy and science. They're not the same at all.
To the guy in chat saying that there's already footage of it, yeah, that's the reason they're getting new footage because that one was faked.
Yeah.
Man, how
Even
many?
high.
How longer do you? How much longer do you guys have to go? And we should probably continue this video.
Yeah.
serious.
Uh,
on Earth. So when people say ice wall, I mean, there are videos and pictures of what you would call an ice
Wait,
wall. It's the highest elevation on the Earth.
Hold on. Highest elevation on Earth in
Hi-
Antarctica.
highest average elevation. So not like Mount Everest, the highest average elevation
average
of a
okay.
continent.
Okay, that might.
Yeah, so we're saying we don't know what's there, and oftentimes people get this straw man. It's like flat earthers say you can't go to Antarctica. People go there all the time. No, we're saying you can't freely and privately explore it, right? Like if I let you in my house, but you couldn't go upstairs, you couldn't tell me what was upstairs, right? right? Like
a sex
that's
dungeon. I would know.
So are you going to go with Will Duffy to the South Pole? He's paying for you.
I told him when he first emailed me, before I even knew who he was, that I was open to going. I had specific parameters, which is that they can't take my words out of context and make a hit piece like they always do, that they have to be forthcoming about all the funding and all the stuff like that. And I said I would go. I have no reason not to go.
Hold on, Dave.
What's up?
Can you explain the Will? Because I know about the Will Duffy thing, but most people watching.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was getting these emails and not even knowing who he was, so I didn't reply. But he, this guy Will Duffy, has been emailing flat earthers and people who make.
But you know what I don't get is Will Duffy specifically going around saying, Witsit said he's going to go anyway, and he's planning to go, so he's going to go, and he doesn't have any. He just wants to go. Now he's getting a free pass for that. Now he doesn't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But Witsit clearly now said, no, he has a lot of stipulations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Duffy doesn't say anything about those stipulations, though.
No.
Oh, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Flat Earth debunking content about paying to bring some people to the South Pole to observe the 24-hour sun.
He's like some eccentric billionaire guy, right?
I don't really know anything about
guy.
him, and I don't know how much money he has. I don't think he's a billionaire. I think
he's a millionaire. Yeah. He's a millionaire.
No, billionaires to everyone. I'm speaking to this is everyone, right? Billionaires don't get made. They're put
by
there.
giving money out.
yeah. They're usually some bloodline related type of stuff, right? So.
Yeah.
This guy. And was a millionaire. I don't know why you paused it, but yeah. You could just skip this part because he's just gonna say, yeah.
There's enough money to pay for a couple people to go.
Because I will go. I'll do the South Pole tour.
I wouldn't. I have things to do, but I would love for some flat earthers to go and see the 24-hour sun. And so most flat earthers are already making excuses. Weiss is saying he doesn't want to go because he's evil, Satan or something. I don't know what he's talking
Austin
about.
said he would go.
Yeah, how's that as Dave Weiss excuse though? I don't really. He says he's friends with demons.
Yeah.
That to me is a bit of a idiotic excuse to make, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's be honest. That's like no.
Speak up. Vicky said something.
Yeah, fact, but idiotic excuse.
I mean, hold on. Vicky's trying to say something. Hold on.
You know all the Globers keep saying to us, well, why don't you go? Yeah?
Yeah.
They want to know why we're all not going. Why haven't they all been and gone?
Yeah, exactly.
You sit on it.
Well, I can't go.
No, I guess financially, but the Globers think they can just turn around and go, well, why ain't you gone? Why ain't all they gone?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess no.
Why do they need specifically also to go with this whole final experiment? They can just go.
No, I guess because they need I guess their excuse would be, I'm just saying from them, that it would be that there has to be a flat earther there to prove that it's not faked, like the footage isn't faked, right?
Yeah.
No,
But the problem is surely they know if a flat earth is going to go, they're going to end up saying, they're going to get a lot of, because unfortunately, even this is from both sides. You get people that are, these guys are just shills. We can't just believe what they say. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate because they are going to, whoever ends up going, they're going to end up being called a shill by some people.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Dave had a real good idea. Why don't we just pay somebody? Dave said pay somebody that's already there to take footage for us. There are people down there in the camp now, right?
Take 24-hour live streams.
Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can't afford it ourselves, and I doubt Duffy's the billionaire they're talking about because he has to ask his wife where he spends his money. Billionaires don't do that. Hey, honey, can I drop a couple over here? And looking at his church, he's definitely not invested any of that billions in his church neither.
Well, I found
it's
out
all suspect.
I found out that he didn't start the church. Apparently, it was one of his friends. It was his church.
Yeah.
And he died or something, and he took over that church. Something like that.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to
But
go
it's-
down there this Sunday, God willing. I'm going to go to his church.
You go see if
I'm
there's
going
a
to go see
service.
him
You go see if there's a
Yeah.
service. Yeah, cool, man.
on Sunday
Film
morning.
it.
Yeah.
Film it, man.
I will.
Oh, so it'll be my evening. Right. So I was gonna say if I was live streaming, it's probably usually when Sob's live streaming, you do it, isn't it? It's about that time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I did that when I was down there the first time.
It's a pity it wasn't when I was streaming. I would have done it live, but yeah.
If I get to talk to him,
Yeah.
I'll cut him a deal. I'll go if he wants a flat earther to go, and I'll
Mhm.
document the whole thing. I'm not
Yeah,
going to be
man.
biased. I'll tell you exactly what happens on the trip. I'll present everything when I get back. Just
Cool.
me. I'm not
Yeah.
famous. I'm nobody, dude. I'm squat.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's willing to really prove this, take me down there, dude. Do it.
Yeah. Vicky said you ain't nobody, Roger. You're definitely somebody.
Aw,
You're Roger. You
no,
rock.
Vicky. Thank you.
She can hear you.
I know.
She can hear you.
Thanks.
Wait, so what are we done?
Yeah, I think we're gonna be done tonight. Sorry, I got a bit of a headache.
It's all good.
And I don't know. I can't handle any more of Dave's stupidity tonight.
Yeah, I know.
It's quite
I just wanted to say something before we go. Pete and Pete did the latest video they did, and they actually
Dell.
dive into Dell.
Yeah, I know. We
Yeah.
said that. It's,
Upward Bright Earth, dude.
Mhm.
I want to watch it. I haven't watched it all.
By the way, yeah, Globetard wants to say something.
I just did a quick
Go ahead.
search for Antarctica 24-hour sun, and it wasn't hard to find a video that clearly shows 24-hour sun.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
We've looked for him, dude.
Yeah. I guarantee that if you bring it up, I
Edited.
guarantee you it's edited one.
Edited.
We probably seen it.
In
Or
what
fake.
way?
The thing is,
They've all
some
been proven fake.
Globers have tried to claim that there's actually footage that isn't edited.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Said, Matthew, he's been a member for 18 months. He just wants to say exactly.
Exactly, bro.
You're right.
Exactly. Hey, listen. If you
I'm
say
gonna come up with a
exactly
new
long
one.
enough,
Precisely.
precisely. If you say exactly long enough, you'll get a poem written about you, dude.
Oh yeah, Luke is available all the time.
Let's do what Witsit says and just say, you're not being intellectually honest.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll just be the basis of my arguments.
Okay.
Oh, that sounded like word salad to me. And I'm not addressing.
That's because it is.
Oh,
To be
damn.
fair,
I don't even know what I said.
we do call it Witsit. We do call it Witsit when he is wrong, right? We're not like being too biased.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Oh, definitely.
Oh, we ripped it.
what you should all
So now it's funny.
Robot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. I'll understand that when I know how to do Morse code properly.
Maybe when I break out
thing
the
you
matrix.
should be- one thing you should all be agreeing on is that Witsit's example of clockwise and anti-clockwise using Go is absolute garbage.
There's no window. I'm not sure on that one.
Well, we haven't got there yet. I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know what that is.
To be fair,
Go on.
we ain't got to agree with the Glober if we don't want to. So to say we should all agree,
It doesn't matter if I'm a Globo or whatever. It's
we all have our own
it's
opinion.
the basic premise of
We're all
what
gonna
Witsit
agree
is
or
saying.
disagree.
Yeah, no, why are you attacking him, man? I feel like he's been nice this whole time.
I've been a little bit
Oh, he
spicy,
has.
but
Nah, he's been good. He's been good, man. No, point was, we don't have to
You didn't
agree.
take us
That's
down
the
too many
point.
rabbit holes.
He wasn't saying just because you're a global, we shouldn't agree with you. That wasn't the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
He's just saying we don't agree. We don't have to agree. You know what I mean? That's the
But
point.
yeah, hopefully I've explained.
Yeah, what
it better
happened to
than
Luca?
When we get to that,
Did he
we'll get
just
to
take
that.
off and leave again?
Man, I really want to ask Luca the killer question I had yesterday about the chemicals. I really wanted to. Anyways.
But yeah, guys.
Yeah, I guess what he was talking about with Globetard, that will be in the next if we do it.
Yeah, we'll have to do a part 3 now. How are we going on? We're going to do part 10.
Honestly, you should have just put it.
We didn't cover an 8-hour video, dude.
I demand 69 parts.
You want to say something, Nate?
Oh yeah, no, sorry. You could just should have just sped it up. You guys speak really slow.
We can actually speak it about yeah, probably will. But you guys have any closing statements?
We've covered videos of high speed.
I don't really have anything.
I don't have anything myself.
Said all that I needed to think.
It's like most Globe debates, right? Dave was this time. I think what I got from this, he was being dishonest and misinterpreting things like the clock and such. You know, it's just the same thing with most that you just have to tell them over and over again until they.
That's just word salad, Nate. Come on.
No, that's just word salad. Oh my goodness. Isa haba laba yiba. Whoa.
It's like just telling a donkey something over and over again.
Forget the.
Anyways,
don't forget the bread.
And the
but yeah, it was good. PJ,
Sorry, bro.
You got a show tomorrow?
Oh yes, sorry, man. I was there just talking to Vicky there. yes, I'll do a show in the morning. It'll still be from the old computer. I've got to go to a computer shop and try and get this sorted.
Love everyone for watching. Hit those likes if you haven't already before you go. Subscribe to Flatzoid. He's doing great. You probably already subscribed to him, but yeah. I'm his promoter. I'm his manager. I'm his puppet master.
Yes. So,
he's got the towel in the corner. The water. He's going for it.
It'll be 8 a.m. GMT anyway. So
awesome.
Yeah, about 11 hours away, 10 hours away, something like that.
Yeah. And Joe,
yeah, maybe Nathan will stop by again.
Yeah, he does. He stops by every morning now. Oh, I've passed the 200 mark now. That's 201.
Woohoo! That's good.
Yeah, 201. So yeah, 101 videos
nice.
now. So it's getting that. Getting that.
And you'll have a new computer working pretty soon.
Yeah, dude, it's working. I just can't get 2 monitors sorted out yet. I thought I just needed an HDMI splitter.
USB-C.
Yeah. It's a pain.
And then he needs to do the setting to double monitor. But anyway, thanks guys all for coming. Really appreciate you all. Appreciate all the super chats, all the supports, likes, and shares. If you haven't already, hit that like, please, really do. Share the show. We'll probably have to do a part 3 as well. Stay tuned for tomorrow's community post on voting on what you want to do tomorrow night. So see you all tomorrow. Many, many blessings and